My 23M girlfriend, 22F, looked through my phone last night while really drunk. My girlfriend and I got pretty drunk last night and were having a good time when she suddenly took my phone and ran off to the bathroom. I honestly didn't think anything of it because I have nothing to hide and she knows all of my passwords. We've been together for over 5 years. She was in the bathroom for a while and I went to check on her because I was concerned she was throwing up, and I see her looking through my Instagram messages and she quickly scrambled to try to hide that she was going through my phone. Very obvious since she was drunk. I didn't say anything or even acknowledge it because she wasn't feeling great and did end up throwing up later on. I just pretended to not notice. I just feel weird after this because I thought we were both on the same page and fully trust each other. She seems to have forgotten about the interaction and I want to know if this is something I should bring up or just leave it alone. Edit. Thank you all for your comments. I will talk to her about it and give an update. Some of y'all have been hurt real bad and I'm sorry about your situation, but I don't think this is one of those cases. It seems like a lapse in judgment, but we will talk about it today. Thank you. Final edit. Hi y'all. It seems this post is getting a lot of comments with very different opinions. Thank you all for looking out for me and giving your own perspectives. We talked for about 2 hours yesterday and she apologized profusely when I brought it up. She said that she sort of remembered doing it, but wasn't sure if it was a dream or real life, since we were very drunk, so she didn't bring it up. I told her how much it hurt and asked her what her reasoning was. She said that I had been acting different recently, I have been stressed about a new job in school, and she wanted to confirm if she was overthinking it or if I was cheating. She felt horrible about it and we had a nice conversation about our past traumas and other things I won't go into here. She offered for me to look through her phone and we went through both of our phones together as a final reassurance that nothing was going on. I feel really great about talking to her immediately and not letting it linger. I feel like this has strengthened our relationship and set better expectations about communication in the future. Thank you for your comments. Address it kindly, but don't sweep it under the rug. Healthy relationships thrive on open communication, not unspoken doubts. Could have been acting upon an underlying feeling of insecurity during a moment of drunkenness. Or she's cheating and projecting that you are too, so she checked your phone. Who knows? Man shrugging. In my experience this means she has stuff she is hiding in her phone. I wouldn't normally say you should go through her phone, but in this case. An eye for an eye. Wait for her to go to sleep and go through all her messages on all her apps. Hopefully she just had some weird thoughts she was worried about. My ex-wife went through my phone constantly and always flipped out over things that she was trying to twist into something. I never understood it until I finally went through her phone. Man, that was a revelation. Totally blew my mind. I had no idea all the bullshit she was doing behind my back. She's looking through your shit to feel less guilty if she finds something because she has stuff to hide. My ex-GF of 2 years did the same thing to me while I was sleeping. Turns out she had dating apps, my boy screenshotted and showed me, and was already planning her exit. We broke up a week later. It's odd for her to be checking your phone after 5 years together. Guilty conscience perhaps. She could have insecurities stemming from a previous relationship. I know quite a few girls with trauma that have gone through their partner's phones, not saying it is okay, but I wouldn't jump to projection of her cheating, maybe just fear of being cheated on and not knowing. Nonetheless, communication and honesty are very important in RS. Have the convo to see where her head is at so you both can find reassurance. 36M. Wondering if my 33F wife taken a celebrity crush too far? Hello community. I, 36M, and my wife, 33F, have been together for 7 years, married for 3 with children. The celebrity she's obsessed with is Morgan Wallen. I use the term obsessed lightly because it has never seemed like an unhealthy thing. She loves his music, finds him attractive, and that's about it. She brings him up occasionally and lightheartedly to anyone who will listen, and she references him as Daddy, not only around me but at me sometimes. I laughed it off at first. But a few months ago I told her how I no longer thought it was cute and that it made me feel uncomfortable. We are pretty secure in our relationship and we both have access to each other's phones as we aren't hiding anything from each other and we are not jealous types, mostly. Long story short, I was rocking one of our babies and her phone was open on her Instagram DMs, so I did a quick scroll through her chats and saw she attempted to reach out to Morgan Wallen and shoot her shot. This was during a bachelorette party she went on the other week and I'm sure alcohol was involved in the decision to DM. It was nothing too personal, intimate. No pictures were sent or anything vulgar. But I couldn't help shake the feeling of being extremely uncomfortable by it. She was definitely shooting a shot and opening a line to another man. No matter how unlikely it would be that he would see her message let alone respond, I just haven't quite been able to drop it out of my mind. It still feels like infidelity to me. I know the impossibility of her hooking up with a celebrity from an Instagram DM, and I'm sure that would be her excuse to me to make it seem okay. He would never respond to me, so what I did was harmless. However, I can't stop playing scenarios in my head about what would happen if he actually did respond. How far would she go? I haven't brought it up to her and don't know if I even should. Am I overreacting? Do I bring it up to her and let her know it made me uncomfortable? Should I be worried that this behavior might lead to something worse? I'd be concerned that she finds Morgan Wallen attractive in any way, shape, or form. He gives me the ick. You are underreacting that she tried to shoot her shot with him. Edit. Thank you for the award. Yeah, that's awful. Shoot your shot? As a married woman? Like what? Also, any grown person that is obsessed with celebrities is just weird in general. Like, who has time to know when these people were born? Their animals' names? Kids' names? It's just weird. You are completely underreacting. Who's to say she won't shoot her shot with a Wish version of Morgan? The N-word guy? Just Googled him. If the dude wasn't a country pop singer, he looks like he would be the assistant manager at an Applebee's. Absolutely mid-level scrub with a mullet and bad facial hair. The thing I'd be most mad about is how much respect you've lost for her at being obsessed with such a mid-chode. Edit. Also, I'm not buying her phone was open to her Instagram DMs, lol. Just admit you went and snooped. I have such intense second-hand embarrassment for your wife. Wow, yeah, she tried to cheat on you. 24F. Want to leave my disabled boyfriend, 34M, to move across the country and go back to school. I'll preface this by saying that I rushed into this relationship during a tumultuous time in my life. I had just lost my job and met him while I was visiting a friend's city. We definitely rushed into things. We did LDR for 3 months and I moved in with him around the 3-month mark. He suffered a workplace accident very soon after I moved in, and I had to step up and become something of a caretaker to him. That involved transportation, attending doctor's appointments with him, taking care of cleaning the apartment and cooking meals, etc. I have a lot of guilt in saying this, but I just harbor some resentment for having to take on so much responsibility so early on. The relationship changed so suddenly and it was a big case of expectations versus reality. I am glad I have been there to help him, as he otherwise would have been living on his own and relying on just his friends for support, but it is very emotionally taxing for both of us. I've spent a lot of nights crying myself to sleep. I have had so much on my plate that my social life has been completely decimated and I rarely left the apartment aside for errands and his doctor's appointments. I felt very, very deeply lonely. I enjoy his company, but I miss being closer to my family and my previously vibrant social life. I just recently took the time to go on a 3-week-long trip and visit some friends a couple states away, not my hometown. I had a blast and for the first time in over a year, I felt complete and utter relief. I definitely felt a bit guilty for enjoying myself so much and leaving him alone, but he said he had been getting by just fine. I flew to my hometown on the way back to visit my parents, and I will be staying with them for the next 2 weeks just to visit. I had some long, hard conversations with them about my relationship, my future, and how difficult the past few months have been. I realized that I just really want to go back to school, eventually get back into my field of work, go out and have a healthy social life again. I have to admit that I am envious of my friend's success and level of freedom. I can't help but feel trapped and held back. I know he has been trying his best to contribute as much as he can, but I bear most of the responsibility around the house. I am just deeply unhappy and frustrated. I've always been a bit wary of the age gap as well, but that is mostly besides the point. He is older and well established in his career, and now works from home most of the time, occasionally taking the bus or Ubering to work a couple times a week since I haven't been there to drive him. I just know that I want more out of my life, and I want to focus on self-improvement for the next few years. I want to find my footing and flourish, and I don't think I can do that for myself while also being in this relationship. I'm still so young and I have the time to achieve more for myself, but I have just been so depressed and burnt out. Getting to be around people my age again was so refreshing. I don't know how to feel. I'm dreading my return. I've tried to be as sensitive as possible because I know this is so touchy of a subject and I don't want him to feel like a burden. I never complain or whine about having to take care of him, but this has just led to me bottling it all up with no outlet. I know that I don't want to be in this relationship, but I don't know how to break up with him and also ensure that he'll have the support he needs to get by. I have been applying for scholarships, applying to colleges since I got back to my parents' house, and also browsing apartment listings in different cities and dreaming of starting fresh. How can I have this conversation with him and let him down easy? How soon is too soon once I get back? I am so scared that I'll be being a horrible person and totally abandoning him and leaving him behind. I just feel so much shame about wanting more. In the future, please recognize that moving in with someone after 3 months is almost always a huge mistake. You're not his nurse. You're not his doctor. You're not his therapist. You're not his wife. He's too old for you. He's also old enough to look after himself. Go live your life. Just tell him after some soul-searching you feel you need to move on with your life and need to end the relationship. Do not ever put your goals on hold for other people. He is a grown adult, he can figure out all the stuff he needs care with. That is not your responsibility. Hey, I've been thinking about our situation and I think we should talk about it. You got injured really early in our relationship, and out of concern for you I did my best to be helpful and take care of you, because you needed someone and I was capable of being that person at that time. More recently, I am taking stock of my personal situation, and I've realized that I want to go back to school and advance my career, and spend more time working on myself. At this point, I think our paths have grown apart, and I think the fair thing to do is to end our relationship now, on good terms, so we can each figure out what's next. I wish you the best, and I hope you'll wish me the best as well. Prepare a safe exit plan for yourself just in case. Better to be over-prepared than unprepared. He's gotten by for 5 weeks without you. I am sure he's now able to survive on his own. Carer's burnout is real. That's true regardless, but my advice would be different if this was a 20-year marriage. I consider him extraordinarily lucky to have had you in his life when he needed help. You have been a true blessing, but you're still dating. People are meant to date to gauge compatibility, and it's clear that with his current health, you guys are not compatible. I think some guilt is probably understandable, but you need to consider what your own mental health and happiness are worth. I, 23F, broke up with a guy, 24M, and he left the door open. I was dating a guy who was really obsessed with me, in a good way. He was extremely interested, and overall a green flag, not just in my opinion. People around me said the same. We were in a serious, exclusive relationship, although it was still in the early stages. One day, he told me that he was going abroad and wanted to end the relationship when he moved, which would be in 6 months, because he couldn't handle a long-distance relationship and didn't want to hurt either of us by trying. He suggested that we stay together in a serious, committed relationship until then. At first, I agreed because I didn't want to end things, but later I had doubts and decided to break up myself. When we broke up, the feelings were still there, we both admitted it, and it ended on good terms. He left the door open, saying he would be waiting for me if I ever decided to come back and restart the relationship. Does it make sense to go back and enjoy it while it lasts? Hard to say whether it will be worth it or if it will drive me insane. It will suck now or it will suck later. Personally, you've already broken up, let it be the end now. A serious, committed relationship with an expiration date of him moving away is a farce. Why would you want to go back when you know what's going to end in a few months? If you're on good terms now, just keep it that way and move on with your life. That depends on you and what you want. If you just see this as casual with an end date, it might be manageable. But otherwise I highly doubt it will be anything other than ripping yourself apart even further. I mean, why would you? If y'all were gonna break up the minute it became LDR, then why even bother? He'll be gone in 6 months. If you both genuinely enjoy each other, then go have fun and do fun shit together until he leaves. I definitely wouldn't recommend that. If he left the door open, you should close it. That feeling of, I could've, should've, would've, with an ex you want to stay friendly with is going to chip away at any future relationship you have. You should go back and put a definitive end to the relationship and provide both of you with some closure. Otherwise you are both probably going to wind up getting hurt.